1, 2, 3, 4 falls into chords. White girls of the north, far you past 1, 5 and 1. They are the fabled lambs of Sunday and the HS norm, and they could float above the grass in circles if they tried. Laden power, I know they hide, to keep some hope alive that a girl like I could ever try, could ever try. So we just skirt the hallway sides, a phantom and a fly, follow the lines and wonder why. There's no connection, a week of rolling eyes and cheap shots from the try, and we're off to New Marcus porch again for another afternoon with goat head tunes and pilfered booze. We wander through her mama's house, the milk from her window lights, family portraits circa 95. This is the foreign land with the sprayed on tans, and it all feels fine, be it silk or slime. So when they tap our Monday heads to zombie walking our stead, this town seems hardly worth our time, and we'll no longer memorize or rhyme too far along in our climb, stepping over what now towers to the sky, with no connection. Walking our stead, this town seems hardly worth our time, and we'll no longer memorize or rhyme too far along in our crime, stepping over what now towers to the sky, with no connection. You can fake it for a while, bite your tongue and smile like every mother does her ugly child, but it starts to leaking out like spittle from a cloud, and that's resentment hurting ounce and pound. You're entertaining any doubts, cause you had to know that I was fond of you, was fond of my own you. Though it in your mask, child is dead, la-doo-doo-doo-dum. I can see the change was just too hard for us, hard for us. You always had to hold the reins, where I'm headed you just don't know the way. So affections fade away, Do adults just learn to play the most ridiculous, repulsive games? All our favorite ruddy sons and their double-barrel guns. You'd better hurry, rabbit, run, run, run. 'Cause mincing you is fun, and there's a lot of hungry hearted in this woods set on taking it over. And brittle thorny stems, will they break before they bend? And neither one of us is one of them. But the tales will never mend, 'cause you had it in for me so long ago. Yeah, boy, I still don't know. I don't know why and I don't care. Well, hardly anymore. If you'd only seen yourself hating me, when I put so much more than fair. But then you have to lay those feelings bare. One thing I know still got you scared. Yeah, all that cool diet and never wanted on a dare. You had to know that I was fond of you, was fond of my own. So I took your licks at the time. And a chance like that is just so hard to do. It's hard to do. Don't let it whip crack your life, and I'll bow out from the fire. Those old party sisters were right. The worst party's over. Get back on that horse and ride. The government profess its love, then follow it with hesitation. For there are just so many of you out there for rent. A stronger girl would shake this off in flight, never give it more than a frown an hour. You have let your heart decide, loss has conquered you. You've won one too many fights, wearing many hats every time. But you won't win here tonight. You made it through the direst of straits, alright. Can you help it if plain love now seems less interesting? Haven't changed an ounce in my eyes, and I cannot lecture you. And does anything I say seem relevant at all? You've been at the helm since you were just 5, and I cannot claim to be more than a passenger. You've won one too many fights, wearing all of your clothes at the same time. Let the good times end tonight. Oh girl, sailor don't sink her this time. Whoa, whoa, whoa. settle this once and for all. The light no longer show the cracks around my door, and I have no lantern to light your way home tonight. You are not some saint who's above, giving someone a stroll through the flowers. You got so much more to dream of. Oh girl, but sail her, don't sink her this time. This time. This time. Girl, inform me, are my senses one you? Your clever eyes could easily disguise some backwards purpose. It's enough to make me nervous. Do you have a sigh, a spit for my eye? But your lips when we speak of the valleys and peaks of a mountain range on fire. So let me walk these course. Do you believe I can cut the mustard well enough? 'Cause you know as soon as breath is scrutinized, unknown quotients, you must be using potions. How else could you tie my head to the sky? This new convection is like the wondering why I can't concern myself with ordinary tribe. Like what's this morning's paper got to say? And which brand of coffee to make? This is no umbrella to take into the wind. And before we begin, is there nothing to kill this anxiety? Speak of the valleys and peaks of a mountain range on fire. So let me walk these coals. Do you believe I can cut the mustard well enough? 'Cause you know as soon as breath is scrutinized, the pain's away.
You're listening to a live in-studio session on Morning Becomes Eclectic. The Shins recorded at the Village a couple of weeks ago, and James Mercer, who is the front man of the band, talking to us a little bit now.
Hello.
Thanks for coming in. Thanks for doing the show, first of all.
Thank you, yeah.
It's been a couple of years since we last saw you, although we did see you, I think, at the Hollywood Bowl, I seem to remember, on a show last summer, right?
That's right, the Belle and Sebastian thing at the Hollywood Bowl.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was.
It really was cool. And it's been a busy time for you guys, I guess, the last couple of years, making the new record, which just came out, Wincing the Night Away.
Right.
And I guess the best place to start for me is to talk about Garden State, because that was a movie that used a couple of your songs, but you guys were also referenced in the movie as what? I Can't Live Without the Shins?
Well,
what was it?
I think that Natalie Portman says, "Listen to this, I swear it'll change your life." Or
there
something.
You go.
Yeah. And then the headphones are placed on Zach's head,
right,
and you hear New Slang play.
And the interesting thing about that is that I happen to know that he heard the Shins on Morning Becomes Eclectic. I don't know if you know
really?
about that.
No, I didn't know
yeah,
that.
Yeah. Which is kind of why it's so interesting to me that he would then put the music in the movie. Obviously, that
right.
line. Well, it changed your life to a certain extent, didn't it? Because
probably
that was
more than anybody. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that a little bit.
Well, yeah. I mean, it just was a huge exposure for us, you know, and a huge plug, you know. We saw just everything change after that movie became successful, you know. It spread to theaters all over the country. It was a big hit, and you know, pretty quickly our turnouts at shows were much bigger, and we were selling a lot of records, and I don't know, I think it set up the release of Wincing the Night Away really well.
I think, if my memory serves me correctly, first of all, the soundtrack of that movie sold a lot of copies, which is
it did.
which is very unusual for soundtracks these days. And then secondly, as you said, the impact on your own record was pretty big. All of a sudden, your record sales went up. Yeah,
definitely, especially the first record.
Right.
Which was kind of funny because, we had just finished touring to promote our second record, and this movie caused the first one to now eclipse, the second.
So, okay, so we've set up the record. We've set up the new record. What did you feel any pressure, like you had to do anything in particular when you went into the studio, or did you feel like you perhaps had a little bit of a cushion now?
Right. Well, I guess both in a way. I knew that this was a great opportunity, that there were going to be, thousands of people waiting to see what we did with this third project, and so I looked at that as a privilege, but I also felt that, and maybe worried a little bit, that this exposure was so big, and had taken a band that was really, at one point very obscure, and had possibly put us in an unnatural, maybe level of visibility. Because of expectations, perhaps? I guess, or just, was I ready to play that sort of a game, are we up to it, being, I don't know, known, And so I felt like, hey, therefore, if I do something, if this record either takes a while to make or is, maybe a little bit avant-garde in some way, and we maybe lose some of these new fans, it's not going to be too big of a deal, that maybe we're reaching this sort of tipping point that we don't want to hit. And so it made me, I guess, relax a little bit and not feel the pressure that you might think I would. Well, in that way, then, you have the opportunity to go in the studio and do whatever you want, what you would do anyway. Yeah, exactly. So not worry about it. Yeah. So what did you do? Because, as you said, you mentioned avant-garde. I haven't heard that before about the record, but it's definitely different. It definitely. Well, yeah, and I don't mean to say that the record's avant-garde, but there are aspects maybe that are not straight pop ideas. It charts different territory. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So tell us about that. Were the songs already written? No, I mean, probably for the large part, the hooks were written, and I had sat down. I'm sort of constantly fiddling with the guitar and recording whatever I think sounds cool, And so I had a number of these riffs and chord progressions that I hadn't fleshed out. So about a year ago, I started really buckling down and working on those, turning these into real songs. What does that mean to you, buckling down and working on them? Instead of just letting my mind wander and playing the guitar and coming up with new stuff all the time, which is my favorite thing to do, I guess, take that piece that you've started and figure out a chorus now for it. So sit down and actually finish the idea. Exactly. Just kind of focus, So I began doing that, and also right away began recording. I have a home studio that's something, not near as cool as this, but similar, where you can do overdub tracking. And so I used a drum machine and started putting down, just sketches of songs. And so began recording early on, and editing and sort of using the computer maybe more than I did on Shoots Too Narrow. And continued doing that for a while, and then got things pretty sketched out, and went into a nice studio with Joe Ciccarelli and really started to get the mixing process and the final recordings done. By the time you went into the nice studio, as you call it, moving out of the professional studio, moving out of the home studio, how did that change what you'd already done, or was it really a matter of then sort of finessing it? And did you get any additional ideas in the mixing process? Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, and we recorded a couple of the songs entirely with Joe. So it's I think I had sketches really laid out that I had done at home. The drums, I didn't do any of the recording of the drums, so that was all done in nice studios. Worked with Phil Eck on a lot of that. You know, it's a pretty crazy process. It was like, you know, figuring out what a song needs to look like. Then I can go in and have Jesse record the drums. Then I'll come back home with those tracks and I'll start overdubbing stuff. And I don't know, probably 8 of the 11 songs were done that way. And then the last few were recorded entirely with Joe Ciccarelli.
You mentioned that the record sounds different. Well, we alluded to the fact that the record sounds different from your previous work. What about lyrics?
Lyrically, you know, I think in a lot of ways I'm better at writing lyrics. I think maybe I just have become a little bit more intuitive about what I'm going to regret later, you know, and you know, I think I've developed also though musically, you know, so.
So does that come down to sort of trusting yourself?
Yeah, or learning, you know, not to trust in a way, and learning to redraft and pay more attention, you know, so that when you look back, you don't see those not mistakes exactly, but you know, oversights.
So when you look at the finished record now, then obviously I remember I got an advance of it before the holidays and popped it in, and my first thought was, wow, what a jump. To me, and I don't want to sound patronizing, but the band was in a pocket, I guess, indie rock band,
right?
If you forgive that term.
Oh yeah.
And then this is a jump somewhere completely different.
Yeah, at least some of the songs, I think, you know.
But sonically, the sound of the whole record. One always hopes that songwriters and bands evolve, but it doesn't always happen. A lot of times bands will deliver the same record over and over again, well, maybe 3 times, and then there's nothing left to say.
Right.
But you guys definitely seem to be shifting somewhere. Do you know where that is, or do you just sort of follow the muse, as they say?
Well, no, I mean, I did have the conscious thought that I wanted to do something new, and that I you know, I really can see the need to evolve in order to keep myself entertained, and also I just think to continually, you know, be doing something that's valid and new. I'm, you know, partly because I am impressed by the fact that we've become successful and popular, and I think that it's an enjoyable thing to be able to create music that's intriguing to people, and I want to continue doing that. I want to surprise people and keep, you know, something that's just, I guess, relevant.
So the record's out now, as we said, and and I'm guessing this year is going to be a pretty big year for you guys. What's in the works?
Well, touring, a lot of touring
for the whole year, I would imagine.
Yeah, probably. But I'm going to be having a kid here.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So that'll be, you know, there's some time off in the early summer, basically, for that.
That's going to shift things.
Yeah, I know. We'll have to see, you know, and I enjoy touring, but you know, give me an excuse to want to come home, and I'll be there. You know,
you'll take it.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to see you again in April for the KCRW Sounds Eclectic Evening. Can't wait to see you actually on stage then. And thanks for coming in and doing this session for us.
Hey, thank you.
We're going to go back to the music again. It's the Shins on Morning Becomes Eclectic.
One hand on this wily comet, took a drink just to give me some weight. Some Uberman I'd make a belly a vapor. They shone a chlorine light on a host of individual sins. Let's carve my aging face off, fetch us a knife. Start with my eyes down so the lines form a grimacing smile. Close eyes to corral of virtue. Is this fooling anyone else? Never worked so long and hard to cement a failure. We can blow on our thumbs and posture, but the lonely are such delicate things. The wind from a wasp could blow them into the sea with stones on their feet, lost to the light and the loving we need. There's still to come. There was part and you know it. There is an unrest in your heart and it's growing. Burn sage on a forest of bygones. I click my heels, get the devils in line. A list of things I could lay the blame on might give me a way out. With each turn it stays front and center, like a dart stuck square in your eye. Every post you can hitch your faith on is a pie in the sky, chock full of lies, a tool we devised to make sinking stones fly. Still to come, there was part and you know it. There is an unrest in your heart and it's growing. take one on the chin. You're hidden in your coat, you don't know how long I've been watching the light dim, starved of oxygen. So give me your hand and let's jump out the window. Trust to the golden door. I was swimming on the stone again, pulling teeth from the pins of gold. When a tragic offer in my mind, and it told of a new design, in which every soul is duty bound to uphold the statutes of boredom, every line, the fatal blood of the red age. 'Cause it was nothing like we'd ever dreamt. Our lust for life was gone away with the rent we hated. So it makes no money to buy to save no one's life tonight. So we found our unity forms, and the nation take its course again. And the big ones just eat all the little ones. Well, sends us back to the drawing board. In our darkest hour, we ever ask for some angel to come, sprinkle his dust all around, yeah. But all our crying voices, they can't turn it around. You've had some crazy conversations of your own. We got rules and maps and guns in our backs, so we still can't just behave ourselves, even if to save our own lives. We have a little Cause this is nothing like we'd ever dreamt. So Sir Thomas More, we got another failed attempt. 'Cause if it makes them money, they might just give you lifetime. One wound-up punch of intuition leaves flat my whole take on us. You're the good